Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the West Texas A&M Rebuild here on College Football 26 on the Brothers in Arms Elite Football League YouTube channel. This is preseason for year number 2. We're at setting up recruiting boards and custom schedules. The schedule we have at SMU, at number 16 Baylor, FCS Midwest, at home versus Marshall. And then we're going to get at Sam Houston, at Delaware, at Middle Tennessee, at Liberty. So a stretch of 4 away games there before we get 4 straight home games to finish out the season against Jack State, Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw State, and Florida International. Our team is currently a 72 overall, which is a big jump from when we started at 56 overall at the beginning of year 1. Let's take a look at my school. Not a lot has changed as far as some of this goes. Stadium atmosphere, D+. Coach stability, D-. So some of these things not great, but we can work with that. We've got decent pipelines when it comes to Texas. So we still don't have a lot of recruiting hours. You can see right there, 575 because we're a 2-star school. So we're going to have to be selective about the players. But according to this, we need 2 quarterbacks, 3 halfbacks, 1 fullback, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 5 offensive linemen, 1 defensive lineman, 3 linebackers, 3 cornerbacks, 1 safety, and a kicker. So that's going to be 1, 2. That's a bunch of people. So 5, I'm already counting 9. 14, 15, 21, 22, 23 players. That's going to be tough. You're looking right here at the board. It's showing us a bunch of 2-stars, but we're not going to go by that. We're going to look at what we got right here. So first off, we got a good list of people here with some 4-stars. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 4-stars that it's showing on our board right now. Some of them were first place. These that we've got, the 5 pipeline, are probably a good one. So we need 1 edge player. We're going against Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Alabama. But we do have the pipeline, so it's a good possibility that we could land this guy pretty easily. So we're going to go ahead and target him. We need a quarterback. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So now we're going to take a look at the halfback. So you got Chris Washington, Arizona State, Kansas, UNC, and Penn State. This one is Arizona, Kansas, Indiana Air Force. So this one makes a little bit more sense. We're first on both of them. This one seems to be a little bit better. Same pipeline. We'll throw both of them on the list, not because we're going to keep both of them, but just so we can take a look at some stuff when we get over there in a minute. We're going to come down here. We're looking at this athlete, which is obviously an offensive lineman. In front of us, Arkansas and Kansas. So the pipeline there. We're going to throw him on there because, once again, we're going to look at some stuff. So here we can only see our pipeline. When we get over to the recruiting board, let's actually jump over there right now. We can see the pipelines of the other schools. So while we're looking at this edge player, even though we're in first place, Oklahoma also has a 5 pipeline. So does Alabama, A&M, and Texas. So now we're going to look at this running back, the first one we put on the board here. We have the highest pipeline on his top 8. So that's good. Then we jump here to this guy. So Oklahoma has a 5 pipeline. Kansas has a 2. They could really make a push for this guy and try to take him away from us. But I feel comfortable just with Millhauser, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. Okay, Stump. You can see we got the same pipeline as Arkansas. And So he's worth keeping on our list as well. So now let's go back to the prospect list, and this is how we're going to break it down right now. As far as we need to do a little something. All right, so here we go. So we're looking for right now mainly 3-star players. We'll leave this the way it is. Interest in our school, top 3. Pipeline level 3. This is because it's a good baseline, right? You're either in the top 3, which means they've already got good interest in your school. Minimum pipeline level of 3 is, in the middle, so that's good. And some of these players can be guys that we can go ahead and recruit. So here we take a look at this list, and now all of a sudden there's a whole lot more 4-stars on this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now there's 15. So the quarterback we're going to come back to because we're going to get to something in a minute. All right, halfback. We've already got a running back on the list. It says we need some more. So we'll take a look at that. Here we go. SMU, Texas, Arizona State, Mississippi State. We've got a pipeline strength of 5, though, so we're going to go ahead and throw him in the mix of our stuff. At wide receiver, contested specialists can either be good or bad. You never know. Their speed is sometimes slower. They're more like a tight end. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. Here is another one we have, physical route runner. I like them a little bit better than contested specialists. But if you're looking at it, we're only a 4 on the pipeline. Texas is probably going to be a 5, so that's probably going to be a bust for us. Move on down. We've already got a running back on our list. Now we got another 4. So Texas, once again, Baylor, Rice, TCU, not really much of a threat. Texas is going to be the threat. Let's go down here. Backfield threat, another running back. So not a whole lot going on for us right there. And that's okay. We're going to go ahead, though, and throw these wide receivers on there because we're just going to look at some things in a minute. All right, so quarterback. Here we go. Not a whole bunch of quarterbacks on the list for us. Oh, no, how'd that happen? Go back. Probably have to redo that all over again. Yep. Okay, so first things first. 3 stars. Interest in the top 3. Pipeline. Okay. So let's take a look at quarterbacks first. There's not a lot on this list, and if you're looking, there's 13, 14, and then right here, 14. So not a whole bunch. This guy is maybe our best bet. He's a backfield creator. We're going to add him to the list. I'm going to come back to that in a minute, and I may have to take him off because we're going to try something different in a minute. Okay. Says we need a couple of running backs. So let's see. Athlete, East-West playmaker. Throw him on here. We could go for this guy, which is East-West, and this guy is East-West. We're going to look at the athletes first, and we're going to look at the athletes first because they tend to be better than some of these other guys, or we can put them in other positions if we have to and we need to. Okay, so we're not going to recruit a fullback. Nobody should ever do that. Here's a speedster for pipeline. We're going to throw him in there. So that's going to cover at least one of our 2 receivers we need. Tight end, vertical threat, 5 pipeline, LSU, Penn State, Oklahoma. I mean, if they come after the dude, it's going to be tough to get him, but at least we got a pipeline of 5. Now we need offensive linemen. And when I go for offensive linemen, I don't just go, oh, well, I need 5 tackles. Let me go after 5 tackles. I'm counting how many linemen I need total, and then I'm going after that number of linemen spaced out however I can get them the best available to me through tackles, guards, and centers. So right off the bat on the tackles, this guy is well-rounded. SMU, Indiana, Liberty, Oklahoma, 3. So we're first, so we'll go ahead and throw him on our list. Then we're looking right here. We're second, but we got a pipeline of 5. So we're looking at ones that maybe don't have the best schools that can recruit them as well. So we're going to put this guy here. So there's two. We're going to look at guards real quick. Okay, guards. Here's one we're first at, and we're looking at the teams. That's a good possibility. This is another good possibility. Let's look at center and see where we're at on center. So there's the 4-star we got. We're going to drop down here. This guy's a JUCO junior. Right now, here's the issue I have with that. He's either going to be decent enough to be a backup, but maybe not a starter. So we're going to, I'm going to have to do that all over again, but we're going to look right now at our offensive lineman. Preseason is a senior. And you look at the backups, not good. Look at the backups here. J.T. Morley will be here again next year. He's an 80 overall. He'll be gone. Nobody at the center position. Right guard, Gooseby will be back. He's an 84. And then right here, K. Franklin will be gone. So going after a guard right now that has it could be a senior next season is okay. We can do that. So here we go. Where was he at? Or was it a center? Maybe it was a center. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So center, the JUCO junior, we're going to throw him on our list. This guy's an athlete. We're second. We're looking at the people around us. Oklahoma, okay. Pipeline is there. So now I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 offensive linemen. And we're going to throw this guy on there for good measure. So now we've got 7 offensive linemen. We need to look for another defensive player to put on here in case something happens. Here's an athlete at 155. Let's look at what defensive tackle's got. First overall, pure power. But we're looking more for an edge. So I would be more apt to go after this guy who's an athlete, even though he's, one that's considered a 1,000th player. All right, now we got to get into linebackers. We need 3. Same thing goes with linebackers with offensive linemen. They're basically interchangeable. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to, try to recruit or not have good recruits at a certain Mike or Will or Sam, or at tackle guard or center. You can just go with the best available to you that are interested in your school. And right now, this guy at rank 539 is first. Got a 5 pipeline. So he's a good one for us to go after. Let's jump over to Mike and see what they got. Right away, this guy has got a 5 pipeline. We're second on his list. He's in the 500s. We're going to take him, so there's 2. It's saying we need 3 linebackers, so we're going to get over here. And this guy's got Texas A&M, Ohio State, North Carolina. Probably not a good bet. This guy's probably a little bit better. But then we're going to go over to Mike and look at it. And USC. So, it's a back and forth kind of thing. We're going to go ahead and go after this guy because, just because. So now we're on to cornerbacks. It says we need 3 cornerbacks. Right here we got a JUCO sophomore, Utah, SMU, Minnesota. So we're going to go ahead and throw him on there. Here's another guy down here. We're going to throw him on there. And we're going to try to pick the best available. So this guy right here, you got East Carolina, New Mexico, SMU, and Liberty. So that's a good bet for us right there. But then again, so is this one. So it's, which one do you really want? And we're going to go ahead and take this guy. Now we need a safety. Safeties are kind of the same thing. They can be interchangeable. We're looking for who they're recruiting, where we can get them. Right now it's probably going to be a free safety that we recruit after. I'm thinking Hollis would be the way to go. One, because he's going to be a JUCO sophomore, so he will be a junior next season. Or we can go here with Thorne. Thorne might be a better bet to go, so we're going to go ahead and go Thorne. And then we'll look at kickers and see if there's any that have any interest in us right off the bat. There's not. So we need to go to anything to get out of that and come back. Okay, here we go. Kickers. So right now we're looking for any kicker that has any kind of interest in us whatsoever. We're sixth on this guy. We got a pipeline. So SMU, UTSA, UTEP. So this is obviously a good guy for us to go with. We'll go ahead and throw him on there. Now we've got 26 to 35 players. I know I've showed y'all this before, but when we get to recruiting board and we're to the point where we've got to add scholarships, we're going to go through to where it says need scholarship. Then we're going to go over here, offer scholarship, and then it's going to give us, as soon as we offer them a scholarship, it takes them off the board, and we can just sit here and press A and go down and give all these guys scholarships and get it done and over with without wasting a bunch of unnecessary time. Otherwise, you have to press A to go in, offer the scholarship, press B to go out, go down to the next player, and repeat the process. This streamlines the process and makes it easier and quicker. Frees up a lot of valuable time for you to do other things. That can definitely help you out over the course of the season or in your dynasty. Okay. Okay, so after offering all 26 player scholarships, we still have 445 hours, and this is where it's going to get interesting. Okay, because we have not done quarterbacks yet. Now, this is going to be a very important thing right here. We are going to search for quarterbacks. Not going to let me quarterbacks. 3-star. Okay, we don't need any interest in our school. The only thing that matters is that they're 3-star quarterbacks. This is something that I've kind of learned. You're going to get a bunch of quarterbacks. So what we're looking for right now is deal breaker, which is playing time. And it won't let us have this guy. So we talked about this before with our halfbacks. So when you've got a playing time deal breaker, and it's not letting you take a player or a player locks you out, it's generally because some other player you've added to the list has a higher overall than them and would be starting over them, and so it's going to take them off your list immediately. So here we're going to keep going down, and we are looking for all these are competency, coach prestige, pro potential, brand exposure, coach prestige, playing time. Here's another one. All that's telling me is that the quarterback that I have on there now, the 4-star, has a higher overall than they do. So here we go. No, playing style. Here, keep going, keep going. Yes, you may. So here again, playing time. Playing time. So I'm trying to make this quicker because I'm not finding any right now at all. None. Pro potential, playing style, championship contender, proximity to home, brand exposure, pro potential, championship contender, proximity to home. playing time. Here we go. Okay, so this guy right here is a dual threat quarterback, 3-star, 1501 overall. He is an athlete. You see his playing time is C-. This tells me right away that he has a higher overall than the 4-star quarterback we have in there now. So we're going to keep going through here. Not seeing anything. Proximity to home. Here's another athlete. Brand exposure. Playing style. Okay. So here we are with our guy. It says playing time. This guy's a championship contender. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go ahead and scout this guy. Boom. Boom. It says he's a bust, but the accuracy's decent. Speed is decent. Throw power is decent. Awareness is crap. So I guess what I was trying to show everybody is not true. He's a little bit better, not much. I'm actually going to... Man, I can't do that. So, not going to work out the way I thought it was going to. We're going to go ahead and recruit this guy anyways, just because as a backup plan. Here we go. Okay, so running backs. We've got 4 on the list. Where are we at? Let's go to these wide receivers. Do a little scouting on them. 89 speed. This guy is somebody right there. Contested specialist. I wasn't expecting that. Decent speed. Decent stats. So definitely one of the guys we're going to focus on. Tight end offensive tackle. Here we go. We're going to do some offensive linemen. My thing is, I don't think, you never know how it's going to go when you scout these guys because, man, that guy's good. I don't know if it helps your recruiting or anything, but it definitely helps you make a decision later on when we've got to decide what we want to do, where we want to recruit, which guys we want to, put hours to based on other guys. So, definitely where we're at with that. Okay. So that's where we're at with that. Okay, upgrade coach skills. We're going to take a quick look at this because I can do motivator or I can do tactician. If I go tactician, this is big. So, okay. The only reason I do tactician is because of like I said before, I think I've said this, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, because you get that. So right now we're going to boost impact blocking, boost run block, and lead block. I actually want to do something else. Let's see here. So we can get play recognition on 2 on this one right here. So that should help. Boost the change direction, pursuit, block shedding. Okay, so for right now, we're going to stick with that. Hopefully that'll help our guys a little bit, give them a little bit of a boost. We're going to jump into the next week. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and break down our week 1 recruiting. We have 450 hours, which means we can go after 9 players with 50 points. Right off the bat, we've dropped down a lot on him. So at this point, I can tell you right now, dropping 4 spots, just even with the pipeline that we got, I don't know that recruiting him would do us any good. I think we're probably better off going with the athlete, but we're going to go ahead and remove him because there's no point even worrying about that. Um, Nobody else has offered this guy a scholarship, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Right now, this guy, we're still first place. Going to go 50 on him. Get over here to wide receiver. I'm just kidding. That's the guy, is it? Who is it? Yeah, not him. Not the 4-star. We're going with the 3-star. Or this one right here. Let's see how it says. Okay, so LSU jumped over the top of us, but that may, change if we can throw enough recruiting hours at this guy, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Only person who offered this guy a scholarship, so we don't have to worry about him at the moment. Only guy that offered him a scholarship. So somebody offered that guy a scholarship. Right here. We're going to find out real quick after this week if we can even go after that right guard. I think we can compete with. So no, there. Okay, so all these are good, right? Because nobody else offered them a scholarship, so we don't really have to put any hours towards them, and we'll still be good. And see, next week we may have to change this, and do something a little bit different. But as of right now, we don't really have to worry about it so much, right? So, like, here's another guy. Nobody went after him. Nobody's going after him. So that helps us, right? So this guy, nobody's going after him. This guy, everybody's going after him. And this guy. So we have to make a decision now which one of these guys we want to recruit right now. If I'm looking at it, I'm saying it's going to be this one right here. So throw 50 at him. Let's come over here. Check this guy out. Rice is right there with us. So we have to make a decision right now what we want to do with him. I think we're going to go ahead and add 50 to him for right now. We can always come back and change this stuff later. So we're definitely going to drop off of his list, right? Some of these other guys are looking pretty good. So, okay. All right, so that's where we're at. I know this has already been kind of long, so I don't want to go ahead and play the game on this episode. I'll do that on the next episode and then do some recruiting in the following week. But until next time, this is Coach Dub signing off.